Okay, I believe we are recording, so I'm gonna start this very special version of the Chess and Chat, which is the first metaverse Chess and Chat we've ever done. I just mentioned that I always seem to make my life complicated by trying something new, but that's also the fun of it, being able to try a lot of new stuff while we're in this, in this interesting realm. And I'm super excited to have my friend Louis, better known as Mibayy online, with me today. How are you doing, Louis?
Hey, I'm doing
Great. I
great.
hope.
Thank you for. It's a pleasure, and it's really nice to. Oh, I lost you.
Yeah, it broke up a couple of times, but now you're back.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
always.
no, I was saying thank you for receiving me. It's a pleasure.
Awesome. Yeah, I always start with a quick introduction on basically how I first kind of came across the people that I've interviewed. Um, and you, I think the first time I noticed you was like very, I think late 2021 or 2022 now. You were, I think, one of the voices, and obviously have remained one of the like leading voices in the NFT community, um, in particular. And I think like one of the things that I thought was so cool that you did was you had an early kind of educational thing where you always try to tell people like what to invest or what not to do when investing into NFTs, and I think you saved a lot of people a lot of money doing that. And then I know that you were involved with Nogin for a while, which obviously was the big kind of like groundbreaking project that really popularized NFTs on Multiverse X, formerly Elrond, and then you became a founder yourself of this project called Wallet FP. We'll talk about that a little bit later, and now you made your way to Morningstar Ventures. And that's obviously an exciting thing. Morningstar Ventures being basically one of the the leading venture capital that actually works with projects on the chain. So we'll talk about that. So thank you so much for joining and being here, Louis.
Well, my pleasure, as I said. It's a
I
pleasure to be here to be able to play chess. It's nice. Chess, sorry,
yeah,
not
we'll see
chess.
how we do that. That's going to be an interesting part. We'll probably share the game afterwards that we played, and people will just have to watch this beautiful Bobby Fischer game that's currently playing in front of us beforehand. Um, uh, we'll see how we do all of this. It's always an experiment. These things. Oops, I just stood up. For example, I didn't mean to do that. I hate it.
Don't walk on the couch.
Come on now. Sit down, boy. All right. All right, we got it. Hey, everybody who's here. We'll do a little AMA at the end of this. So we'll just do the normal parts of this, and then probably during the chess, while we're playing chess, you can kind of bombard Louis with your own questions if you have any. Louis, I wanna get started before you got into all of this and into this community. I snooped around in your LinkedIn a little bit. I may have found something interesting. Did you work as a chef before in hospitality?
Yeah, I did a lot of other jobs, not regarding crypto before doing crypto actually. Yeah, you gotta know that before 2021, I was thinking crypto and NFT, all of this is fake and the S word. So I wasn't really into that. So I was doing cooking for 8 years. I'm actually diploma with Master of Crepes. Yes, that's a diploma. Don't
Amazing.
don't laugh about it. And I was receptionist in a hotel before for 2 years. I was also doing babysitting for 6 months. So yeah, I did a lot of jobs before crypto.
Interesting. Why did you go into the culinary direction to start your life? Was that something your parents did, or something you were always interested in?
Well, I was not a good one at school. It was boring and I didn't like it. I regret it today. So I tell every kid, go to school and please learn stuff. It's important. But yeah, I was kind of lazy. So I went to US for a year and England for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came back to France, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So my mom like told me, you should do cooking in Switzerland. I'm sure it's gonna bring you a lot of money and you will love it, etc. Because you like cooking. And yes, I like cooking. So I went to Switzerland and I did apprenticeship. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
English. So I learned cooking in 2 years, and then I worked for different type of cooking style in Switzerland. But I like cooking, but there is a big difference between cooking for yourself and your friends and cooking professionally, and it wasn't that good professionally.
Yeah. So when did you specialize in crepes?
Oh, that was before the cooking. I did like it's a 2 week training where you learn how to do crepes, and then I went to do winter season as a crepe maker for restaurants.
Oh, that's actually amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of like. Do you guys have these Christmas markets and stuff like that in France?
Yeah, yeah, of course. But while I was doing cooking, I was doing also when I had time on the weekend, the small Christmas market and stuff like that. Like every time there are markets in our city in Switzerland, I was going with my little booth doing
Mm-hmm.
crepes for people, and it was amazing. Actually, you can find me on Facebook. Well, it's in French, but it's called La Crêperie de Louis, and you can see pictures of me behind this booth.
Oh, amazing. So you did basically have your
But
own.
I'm not. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm not really happy with the pictures, but at least you can see what I was doing.
No, that's cool. So you basically started your own business very early on as well.
Yeah, I tried to. Well, it was not really legal. I just don't say it. Like I didn't. I wasn't mentioning to the administration that I was selling crepes, so it was all in my pocket. But yeah, I started working on my own at this point. Yes.
Okay. And then you also started getting into esports. Was that how you found blockchain and all of that? Was that kind of the bridge or
Yeah. No, not at all. Actually, people from his spot that I knew and that I was working on, I worked on the LAN party, like, when player gather to do competition. Then I was for maybe 5, 10 years a player playing them, did Counter-Strike competitions a lot. And then I went on the other side where I was organizing. You gotta know that those people, when I was working with them, they hated crypto. Like they were like, yeah, this is shit. They want to take our glory and stuff like that because they want gaming and win money with that. So it wasn't really
you
two
you
years ago.
you're breaking up slightly on my end. I hope that's on
uh,
my end.
21, relation with the gaming.
Okay. I think
Sorry.
I gathered most of it. You basically the esports communities you were in were very much anti the whole blockchain thing. Basically thinking that they were stealing the thunder of those sports and trying to make more or less illegitimate money with blockchain stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they, when you don't understand something, you don't like it. So basically, it was this. Yeah, they didn't knew about this, so they didn't like it.
Got it. And would you say that has changed more or less drastically now, or in that old community are the is the perception still the same?
I think it has changed in the way that most gamers now knows what is a blockchain and what is crypto and stuff like that. They start to get to know this topic, but still it's something very. They take it from far because competition have a lot of money and stuff like that, but they want to still keep it in fiat, so dollars or euro, and they are not really into crypto at the moment, I guess. Like I'm still in contact with some esports team because I have the secret project to create an esport equity, something like that. So I'm still trying to look at how I can make it work, but overall, I think they are ready, but it's not gonna happen yet.
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about that a little bit later with the Eagle Gaming Guild, of course, that you're also a big part of. Let's chat about how you then made your way into the strange world of blockchain and crypto. How did you first get in contact with that, and then what compelled you to kind of join the ecosystem?
Well, I started crypto. I think it was February 2021. So really recently. Uh, my roommate talked to me because he was doing DCA, buying some crypto every month, and he told me you should do the same because when you upload, you will be rich, etc., etc. So I started buying, but for a year until December, like it didn't move. Like I had 10 different coins on 10 different blockchains. I made a lot of mistakes. I joined pump and dump group. I lost like $500 in that type of groups, and started to learn my way. And in December, my family got COVID, so Christmas was canceled, and I was all alone at my home for Christmas and stuff like that. So that's when I arrived into the crypto space and started doing research. And then I've wanted to give some educational stuff to people about the mistakes that I made. So basically, all the strategy, if they are here, the mistake before and do and what to not do
Yeah.
to enter the end.
Sorry, the sound was choppy again on my end. Apologies. Yeah, that's I think when I first noticed you as well, because you were active on Twitter. I think basically from day one, at least what I remember. How did you find Elrond and Multiverse X specifically? I know there's a large French community. Was that one of the first coins you
To
bought?
be no, that wasn't the first, but Asher is a French known influencers into crypto. Is really big. Well, he was doing the presentation of the X days.
Yeah. Oh no. Did I get kicked out? I'm back, I think.
Free. And basically, that was my first purchase of NFT. Like, I saw this ad, I was like, okay, let's try to do some money. And about three, I get a great amount of money by reselling them. And then I started working for them as a mod. And yeah, after the adventures continued, that journey.
How did you come up with the wallet FP thing from there? Was that an educational kind of quest as well, or was that something you saw was missing, or how did you get the inspiration for that?
Well, when I started, end of December, start of January, I was actually working for a massive whale on Aaron, buying him tons of NFTs, like we did 100 Nogons, 100 Maya Punks, 100 Elrond decks, and stuff like that. And at some point, I wanted to have the value of his wallet regarding everything that I bought for him. And yeah, I did a tweet. I think I remember I did a tweet asking someone to create a tool to get the value of your wallet. And a guy came to me and he said, "Hey, look, I've done this for you. If you want to try it." And it was like a blank page, all white, with just a simple case where I put my arrow tag and I had all the floor price from all the collection. And I was like, okay, we have to do something with that. So I took three other developers with me for free. Like all this was done free. I didn't have to pay them and etc. And they did the V2 that is now the current version of Wallet FP. Now, unfortunately, the developers found some paid jobs, so they don't really work anymore for me. But sometimes we still try to update things. We have some I think some good updates that are but it takes time because they have their own project on the side. That is something that I'm not doing. So yeah, they have priority, but still
I mean, it seems to be a common thing
still
that,
here.
yeah, that developers are very hard to find, but they're even harder to keep, right?
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
the fuck is
Even if you don't pay them.
Yeah.
who's talking? Wait a minute. How am I gonna...
Hello, stranger. Um, so let's talk a little bit
Hi.
about what kind of drew you into, like, you obviously there was money to be made, but you very early on started focusing on these kind of community tools, both from like you yourself providing educational threads on Twitter and posts and blog posts and like project reviews. Um, and then the wallet FP thing, which was obviously a free tool for the community to use largely as well. So what kind of kept you in the community, or what kind of drew you into the community?
You mean what motivates me to do those
Yeah,
things?
exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just the recognition from some people, see that it helped them actually in a way to project and do the proper research because I've been through tough times because of NFTs and crypto, some very hard failed and stuff like that. So I've lived all those emotions and I don't want people to live them. So I want to give the keys for people to avoid them. And every time I see someone on Twitter asking for help because it was scammed or stuff, it just give me the strength to try to produce even more content to help those people that were scammed to avoid getting these things that I've lived. And I think that's what people maybe like about me, is that because I'm more a community person. Like I'm a community member, like you, like everyone here, and I only do this to help other members. And I'm not looking for something special. I don't want to chill project. I don't want to do giveaways with project. I don't want to, yeah, to push something forward. Just want to, I think it's the more important, and um, understand how to appreciate this ecosystem.
Yeah,
Those projects that are building, that are maybe not giving tons of news every day, but they are still here building. And the best way to help them is to give them good feedbacks, uh, constructed feedbacks actually. Yeah, and motivate them because we are a very small community. And I think some people don't realize that it can fall apart very quick if we don't do the proper things.
yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit on a bit of a touchy subject at the moment. I think the you posted something today, a tweet basically about the spending, if people were spending as much time on positive and constructive feedback as they did on on negativity and all of that, the space would be off, a lot better off for it. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're seeing and what you, maybe some developments in the space that you don't like so much?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's not a problem for me. Like I don't like to do debates, on Twitter because when you write, people don't see the emotion and stuff like that. So something can be taken really bad, even if you didn't want it to. So what I wanted to mean with this tweet, it's because it has been out some weeks that I see in Discord communities uh, and even on Twitter, some people that are very aggressive regarding some teams and some part of the community regarding the decision for a project. And I just don't like it. I'm a very positive person. Like if something is failing, we can always find a solution. And when I provide critics, well, I don't do it publicly. I do it in private with the project, and I give them the tools to, take better decision and maybe change some stuff to be better understand it. But the problem now is that I see some people just being aggressive and disrespectful and insulting on for against other people, and they don't realize that behind the project you have the team, of course, but you have also a community. You have some people that believe in the project, and you have some very sensible people, and I know it's all about money in the end, but we don't have to disrespect each other. We don't have to be aggressive, insulting others because they take decision and because they didn't really understand maybe what was the project or what was the goal of the project. It's okay, it happens. We all make mistake in our investment, in our way to manage a project or stuff like that. It's it's okay, but you really shouldn't disrespect people, even more on the internet during a bear market when a lot of people are losing money. It can be very destructive. People can hurt themselves because of the decision they take. And if you see someone like insulting you on Twitter because you took this decision, it's not good. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I wanted to bring message since a long time. I didn't want it to be aggressive regarding someone special or point something with my fingers or stuff like that. But I just wanted to try to spread this vision. That if we give good feedback, we can even make it better. But it will not go far if we are just here insulting someone for doing something. It doesn't make any point. Like you don't help them doing better.
Yeah, and if I can add to this, I think one of the big things, and this is obviously, I think people know, kind of a passion of mine is the onboarding of new people to the space. Right, at the moment, we're a few people that we interact with daily. That if we can build constructive and positive relationships, we can really go pretty far. That's one thing. We can improve projects by doing, giving constructive feedback. I'm all for accountability, and we can talk about that as well. But the way that you hold people accountable is through constructive feedback and not to, destructive criticism. But one thing that always strikes me in this regard is, well, if we want new people in this space, and if it's really about money, then we should be looking to bring new money into the space, of course, because if there's more money flowing through the ecosystem, there's more money to be made for everyone, right? Like, how are we seen from the outside
Yeah.
if people go on Twitter and they research Multiverse X NFTs and they see a bunch of children like throwing poop at each other? It's kind of a bad look. And I
Yeah.
and I think like that's something that people need to think about when they're when they're out there on Twitter in their little mud fights. That this actually reflects on the community as a whole. And I think there was like this great positivity in the beginning that kind of drew me into the space. That really felt like people were supporting each other and trying to uplift each other and trying to be constructive and being like contributing great ideas to projects. But yeah, it's a very it's a very thin line between like holding people accountable and constructive criticism and then just shooting people down and yeah, destroying people's careers
Well,
and
yeah.
as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't really understand the point of doing this because I think I'm a good example of what you should do and what it can bring to you. Um, I entered Snowgen because I was doing feedbacks to Josh about things that I don't projects, things that I like, and basically with positivity, it's just pointing things. For Morningstar, I was hired because I did a thread about their new website, Eagle Community, asking them to add some certain projects that are not on the platform, asking them to do some things maybe a little bit different. So I provided critics with a way to improve things, and with that, they just DM me and asked me if I want to work with them. And then I started working in the Web3 for venture capital. I mean, if you are good at seeing what are the dark points of something, then use this to make it better, not to try to kill something. Try to make something better, and you will see you will get a good rewards in the end. It's for sure like projects are recruiting, projects are getting their team stronger to go through the next bull market that will happen one day or another. But they will take the one that wants to see the project grow in the best way possible. They will not take the people that are just shitting on them and insulting them and stuff like that. So just see it that way by making good criticism, by giving good feedbacks, by giving ideas. You may end in a project working for them and getting paid for it. Because I'm a cooker, I have no experience. But because I did critics, I got hired. And then now I'm working in with the Web3.
Yeah. What would you say if you wanted to give some guidance, like a few of the most important points on how to give good feedback rather than bad one? Like what are some things that people should keep in mind when they either give feedback to project founders or to the space in general or write a thread? What are some things that you think are important on how some people who might be wanting to do some of this stuff, like how they could improve their skills in that direction?
Well, first, don't do it publicly. Like if you want to talk bad about the project, go have the balls to DM the founder, someone in the team, and tell them the stuff in DM in private. Because if you attack them publicly without giving a solution, then you are already blacklisted. They will see what you say. They will take it in consideration, but you will never get a return from it. So what my first opinion will be to do it in GM first. We are a very small community. All the project founders are around on Discord and Telegram. You can talk to anybody. Like anybody you want to talk to, you can. You just have to DM them, and then don't just point the bad things. I mean, point the bad things, but then
Eu tô,
provide another idea
tô ouvindo
that could be
um
better.
homem falando inglês aqui no meu ouvido.
Oh,
This
hello,
this
sir.
is always a danger of happening, I suppose, in this public space. But just keep going, yeah.
Yeah. No, so I was saying if you find something bad, try to find a way to make it better, and it doesn't have to be very something very developed or stuff like that. Just tell what you think should be better than what they already do. Maybe it's not a good idea because it's your own opinion, but just tell yourself that they maybe don't have this vision, they don't have the community vision, they don't know what the community is waiting for and stuff like that. So take the time to talk to them, tell them what is wrong and how they could improve it if you have some ideas. But I think the main one should be not do it in public because it's not good, like you said, for the ecosystem. Like someone coming and checking what's happening on Multiverse X, they check on Twitter and they see people insulting each other and throwing rocks at projects that are actually we can see. I think there is something with the Aaron Apes team that is going on. Well, Aaron Apes, if you want it or not, it's one of the top projects on Aaron. And if someone come from outside and see a top project getting like insulted and disrespected, like he is on Twitter, they don't want to come to Aaron. Don't worry, they will go back to where they come from and they will say, yeah, okay, I have already enough haters in my ecosystem. I don't need to go in one where it's all about negativity and no improvement.
Yeah, yeah, amen. I also think one of the things that I'll emphasize that you talked about, it's not about problems, it's about solutions. And if you come to people with a solution rather than a problem, that is really what people will be thanking you for, and in your case, like hiring people for, right? That is exactly how you kind of win the attention of people you might want to work with. Or if you know if that doesn't work out, you might really do a great service to the project, and by extension the whole community. So yeah, I really want to emphasize that kind of solution oriented approach rather than a problem oriented approach. It's always a good lesson to take into any business, be it Web3 and NFTs and all this stuff. But you can really apply that whatever your line of work is. Solutions over problems. So yeah, super
Yeah,
agree with you.
what's most important is to do research before investing, so you don't end up with those problems. Because most of the time, every time I see someone pointing something at a project, it was something that was on the white paper or written somewhere on Discord or anything about this already before the mint, before people buy it. So you cannot complain if you bought it without doing your own research. So that's why I'm pushing the research stuff.
Yeah. So let's talk. We talked about Wallet FP. We talked about your past before that. We talked about Nojin. Let's talk a little bit more about your current position with Morningstar and the Gaming Guild. How did you mentioned it all came through basically your Twitter posts, and then they hired you. What's your current position there? How is it going? What are you excited about in with Morningstar and the Gaming Guild?
So I started with them because, as you said, I did the threads because they went out with their website, Eagle Community, and so it was not bad, but it was not really reflecting the ecosystem. So I did a tweet, like a thread, uh, po- pointing them like project NFT project they should have to the platform, because I don't remember if you remember the beginning of this website, but it was like 20 projects, I think, around that. It was not a lot, not the best project, of course. Like it was missing Node.js, Drifters, all the big ones you can think of. So I pointed to them all those stuff. So the NFTs, the tools, the opinion leaders they should add, and maybe some idea of what they could improve in the websites. And so they contacted me to be like kind of community manager and in charge of improvements we can do on the website. So I'm not coding. I'm bringing the ideas to my manager type of stuff, and then he take those ideas to the developers that after that work together to try to adapt it to their website, into the community management of Eagle Community. Also, all the Twitter posts used on Eagle Community accounts, I'm doing them. And for the Gaming Guild, so that's another aspect of what I do at Morningstar. So Gaming Guild was founded by Borislav, that is another employee of Morningstar. And I'm helping him with the help of Valentina, so maybe you know her from the Whaley. So I'm helping him through this journey because it's a big thing. We have actually more than 80 members. It's kind of a closed guild at the moment, but we had like 2 rounds of invitation. And what I do, I'm mostly on the side of contacting projects, talking with them regarding their game, if they have a game, or their overall projects, to talk with the members and see what we can do. So we have some very cool initiatives regarding the project that I can't really talk, I think, right now, but maybe we will talk about it later in the weeks. We have some great partnerships. So usually they give us beta project for our members. Direct channel with the developers team to tell them the feedbacks, the bugs, and stuff like that. And the members, they get sometimes whitelists, sometimes NFTs, sometimes they get allocation. It really depends on what the project wants to give to them regarding the app. But overall, it's pretty good. Project that we on board, we have Cantina Royale, we have Knights of Katina, Ethereum, and Elron Apes also. But overall, they are all pretty happy with what the members are doing. The community is pretty active, and it's great.
And if you're a project and you want to kind of get the attention of Morningstar and the gaming guild, what's a good way of reaching out?
Well, so if you're a project, you have to know that it's actually the worst time ever to try to contact us. Like it's in the beer market, we try to cut, not to cut, to limit the investment with project. It's really picky. Like we have a lot of demand. We have some amazing project, really good project. But yeah, I think we just it's the brake pedal for the investment during this market. So you can enter in contact with me. You can enter in contact with Valentina, and then we will see if we can organize a call with the team. And so you will have to pitch the project to us, explain us what is the project, etc., and some other secret talk, if I like this. And yeah, that's just how it works. That it's not necessarily hard. Just you have to know that 90% of the case during this months and probably the next ones, you will have to wait. That the better the market gets better.
Yeah. Well, let's talk to kind of wrap it up. Also, a little bit more about Multiverse X and the new things happening there. Maybe starting with X Day. I had the pleasure of actually getting to meet you and basically all of the Morningstar team in person. How was that for you personally and for Morningstar at large? Being there for the first time, seeing all these projects. How did you and you guys experience that event?
Well, first it was also a pleasure for me to meet you, just so you know. Yeah, you can clap. Let's clap for it. Yeah, no, it was really. It was like okay, can I say this? It was just amazing because it was the first time that all the together. So it was the first member of Morningstar. We had the chance to meet all the other person involved in Morningstar. So it was great for this. And in terms of the X Day, well, it was totally a surprise. Like I didn't expect this. I was expecting to be with my friends from the community, getting out at night, getting drinks during the day, like getting drinks also and take the time. But I was running everywhere. I had like no time for anything. I was kind of sad because there was a lot of people I wanted to catch up with and that I missed. But it was amazing. Like I was doing the coverage on the Gold Community Twitter about the all events, and in terms of what they said and what the keynote were about, etc., it was just amazing. I really liked it. It was a great experience, and the best touch was at night to have some organized party to see the community and have some fun with them, because during the day I was working, so it was hard.
What was your favorite event or side event at the or favorite moment at X Day in Paris?
Well, if I have to say, during the day, it was the announcement of all the new projects. Like really, I was expecting some things as we had some information, but I wasn't expecting all that, and it was really amazing to see how they were. I realized how they were silent during all these months that passed before the event, but because they were preparing all of this, all these 10 new tools that are really great, and I think that will give a lot of power to the Multiverse X ecosystem. And for the nights, I think I will pick the night organized by Pierrick. So it was the Magnetic Network event at the bar, where I saw you, by the way. And this night was great. This was really great. This is all what I love. But every time I go in a meet, like we did 3 meetups with the French community already, and every time I get drunk and it's so fun and we laugh until the night end, and yeah, it's always great moments. That's why I love this community also.
Yeah, talk a little bit, maybe give a shout out to the French community. There's a lot of people obviously living in France that are involved in Multiverse X. You mentioned Asher. There's a lot of influencers and big people really supporting the ecosystem. Maybe you want to, I don't know, name check
Yeah,
few of them.
yeah, of course. Yeah, well, I can't name check all of them because they are way too much. But we have Opium that is doing a great job by giving information to the French community. So it's mostly in French. So if you want to try to learn French, you can go check his Twitter. We have La Banane Crypto, also a French one. But I'm hosting with him every Monday the Multiverse X Friends Twitch Live, where we speak about actuality, and we receive a project every Monday to talk about it. Shout out to the Diggers. This is a big French community, not mostly on Multiverse X, but also on Solana, Ethereum, and stuff like that. We are, I think, between 4K and 5K on this Discord, and it's really active, and it's where all my NFT journey started. Like, they provided me so many great information about everything, how to develop a smart contract, how to invest in a project, how to be involved in a project. Like, they were mind-blowing. I always say that if I ever get rich, I will take all of them at ski resorts, to do ski for a week. But the problem is that they are 60, so it will be a big chalet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this community is awesome, and I want just to say a big shout out to Morozix, that is a big friend of mine, a big Dejan. He was doing trades on shitcoins a lot, and he took me by the hands, and he told me, like, Multiverse X is not the only thing in crypto. You have to discover the rest. And it took me to other blockchain to make me discover them and stuff like that. And that's great. That's great. That's really the feels I want with people, to share and care about what the others are doing instead of just pointing it.
Yeah, and I think it's really a crucial part of anyone's kind of crypto education to venture outside of whatever their blockchain may be, because there's so many things to discover on different networks that they just do better, or that they innovated, that you can learn from for your own project.
Yeah, I'm sorry I cut you, but this is very important. Like, you get to know that when I entered NFT, I was focusing only on Aaron. Like, I didn't know anything about the other ecosystem. And the time I started to look at what they are doing outside, I was like, okay, now I know stuff. Before, I think I knew, but I didn't knew. But now I know, and it's so great. And I want to create some kind of space on Twitter involving different big actors from different blockchain, and talk about subjects and topics like uh, gaming, social network in Web3. I don't know, all the subject in Web3, and get their point of view from different blockchain, and see what they have to bring to the space, what is negative that they also have, and stuff like that. I really want to explore this way, try to do some cross-chain space, because I think it's good for the information of people.
Yeah, agree. So let's wrap it up by kind of talking about the new direction of Multiverse X, and also maybe, since we are sitting in a metaverse space at the moment, maybe you want to talk about, like, how that affects you guys at Morning Stars, if that, and the projects that the Gaming Guild works with, and also how you personally feel about the redirection and maybe the opportunities that exist in such virtual spaces where we can, like, you're in France somewhere, Cornish is in Cornwall, Birdie is sitting in Romania, I think I'm in Berlin. So like those are just the people I see on my screen at the moment. I know there's more people around. I think New York is in the house as well. So we have all these people gathering here, and like maybe talk about the new direction that Elrond has taken with Sergio, hi, with Multiverse X. Sergio is in Poland, I believe. By the way, hi Sergio, and yeah, your feelings on it, and kind of the opportunities that you see going forward.
Well, it's a discussion I like to have those days about the metaverse, because I wasn't really fan of the metaverse things, because I've watched this movie. I think everybody watched this movie, Ready Player One. Maybe you did also. And we have this vision of a world where you just put a VR set and you live in this world. And I always think that nobody will want that. Like, we still like to go out and enjoy the sun and do some stuff. But then I talked to my friend Morozix, actually, the one I shout out just before, and he told me that I need to forget about this movie and see it another way. And I tried to imagine how could be a metaverse with a mix from reality and virtuality, and in that sense, it makes sense, and I think it's what we are going to go for. And I posted a video like days ago on Twitter, showing someone cooking with the actual ingredients in front of her, and she had to the how can I say, she had the instruction directly in front of her of what she needs to put on the plate and stuff like that, and it was all virtual, so it was not a book, it was like glasses that was giving her the information. And I think this is what the metaverse will look like if you work with a computer but you need multiple screen, then you will have multiple screen virtually and not in the reality. And it's not going to be a world where you will be in and it's all about virtuality and nothing is real, it's everything fake. But I think it's going to be more like kind of a mix between reality and virtuality. So yeah, that's how I envision this. And if it's not this, if it's only virtual, I'm not sure it's going to work, because we like too much the nature, the sun, going to the beach and stuff like that. And something virtual for me will never replace this.
Yeah.
And being here connected with someone, like you said, from New York, from Romania, from every country, we already do that on Discord, on Facebook, on many platforms. And it's kind of a metaverse when you think about it, because you can talk to someone at the opposite of us to you, and it's still instantly. So I think we already have kind of a Web 2 metaverse, and now we need to have a Web 3 metaverse where we will have all the same platform, but with the addition of blockchain and all this stuff.
Yeah, and for how do you see Multiverse X fitting into the picture there?
Well, I think we are early. I know everybody say that, but I think it's great, because a lot of blockchain, they don't know really where they are going. They are doing tons of different stuff, and they are not focusing on one point, trying to cover all of them. And I think Multiversix, sorry, they needed a focus to know where they are going, because they have a great technology, but you can't use it in every field that you see. So by focusing on metaverse, I think it's great, because they will kind of lead the way of what it is. But problem now is that they need to make it popular and something public. So I hope, because I think they have on their roadmap for Q1 2023, like a hyper growth strategy for international. So I hope they will do this great, because this will be for me key points to the adoption of Elrond.
Yeah. Yeah, I send you an invitation for a chess game. Check your phone or your app on the phone or wherever you do that. I will post the link to that game afterwards, and people can look at it. But we'll just continue the conversation. I gave you a queen extra, so I hope that will be all right. Let me know when you accept the thing, and let's keep talking about kind of the multiverse and metaverse a little bit, and especially where you see kind of bringing back your old passion for gaming and combining that with blockchain and with the metaverse. Maybe do you see any particular opportunities in that field as well? And have you seen the industry change? Obviously, with the gaming guild, you must be thinking into that direction as well, right?
Yeah, just where did you send the invitation? Because I don't see it on the website.
On Telegram.
Oh, on Telegram. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, that's why I didn't see it. So yeah, so you ask about how do I envision the metaverse with the industry and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going forward, but not with the great tools. Like they just I don't know if you saw. I think it's the French government. They did like a metaverse thing some days ago, and it was only 5 people, and they spent like a massive amount of money to do it, and there were only 5 on it. But because I think, in my opinion, they don't really take specialists when they're doing it. And let me see if I can do this. Yes. They don't really take specialists about the case, so they don't really know what they are doing. It feels like this. But I've talked to someone that in the past days that is working with the government about metaverse. Like his job is only metaverse. He's doing metaverse all the day, talking metaverse, etc. And yeah, he told me it's gonna be a thing, but it's gonna take at least 13, 15 years to become a thing.
Yeah.
So, I think we are going slowly but surely into this, but there are still so many big actors that do it the bad way. They launch their NFT project. They don't have any goals behind anything, any paper. It's just because they are a brand. They think they can launch something and do something with it. But yeah, overall, it's not that great. And I think they should have more specialists about what it is to actually do something that has value.
Yeah, I mean,
Shit.
first of all, I like that we we beat the French government with its resources and have more people in this space than the French government managed. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I also think there's a long way to go, right? When we're talking about how do we bring people into the space and what's an actual good way of doing this. It's not always straightforward, this kind of development, and it will just take time in order to also show all kinds of people what different opportunities are linked with it. In terms of gaming, where do you see that going? Like, do you think the future of gaming will kind of be in the metaverse, or will there always be? Thank you for your queen.
Wow, what's happened?
I like that people can't see it. I think it's an interesting.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah.
Well, first, I want to say something, because you talked about how to do adoption and stuff like that, and I see you guys what you are doing with on-chain smokers, and that's amazing. Like, nobody does that, and the way you do it, I think this is how we can onboard people, because on Twitter, most people are already in crypto. They know a little bit about Elrond and stuff like that, but still they stay on their blockchain, like Solana, Ethereum, and stuff like that. But what you do, going into real place with your person, like a real person, of course, this is for me amazing. Every time I see your pictures or video of your events, I'm like, man, if everybody does that, like it can be so fast, you know. But yeah, overall, it's a great thing. So I wanted to point this and give you a big shout out because that's for me what's gonna shape the Web3. You know, the kind of action that's gonna shape the Web3.
I
So yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you. I think so. So to speak to that point a little bit, I think I mean we always kind of refer to it as like one-on-one combat. What we do, because it's really like you need to get every person somehow like meet them where they're at, right? And I think that's one big mistake that that we make at the moment as a community, you know, trying to kind of assume that everybody knows what you know and like, you know, all the mistakes you've made along the way, that they should already know better and all of that. And I think it's just it's really a long process to get there. And also you need to try and provide people with the resources so they don't have to make the same mistakes. Yeah, I think there's a lot. I mean, there's I think a space like this, for example, where people can maybe like, you know, maybe we hang out here next and do like an onboarding session in the metaverse, right? Like where we can say, okay, well, it's hard to set up a crypto wallet. What questions do you have? And you don't just have like an anonymous person on the internet on some chat group and you never know if they're real or not. Like you have like a trusted channel and you do like an onboarding session like this where at least people have you know, the feeling that they're talking to someone real and have a better idea maybe of how to how to you have a better connection with them, let's say, right? Because I think there's a lot of information and still fear as well of losing your money and being in charge of all of that money and what if this and what if that. And we need to take that seriously, and because that's the only way we'll really overcome this this current situation where a bunch of people now know about blockchain kind of in principle, but they don't really know what to do with it or all of that. Interesting. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Hello.
I think we lost him. Oh no, he's there.
I
Hey,
got
hey,
kicked.
come back.
I'm sorry. I'm back. Here I am. What's
No,
up?
no problem.
What's up? Where did
Yeah,
I
I
break
was
up?
saying your humanity. Well, it break up just so you said. Oh, what's up? So I got everything that you said.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Maybe you just
Yeah.
want to take it
So
from there.
yeah, I wanted to say that you are bringing humanity to the blockchain, and that's what we miss. You know, as you said, the people we need to onboard, they don't want to tweet with someone over Discord or Twitter discussion. And what you do by being there and giving them the information, I think this is the key.
Yeah. What do you think? Some other things, some other aspects
Shit.
there are that could be improved in order to, I don't know, make people feel more comfortable with the technology and give them a better idea of how to use it.
It's
So
difficult because what I would say it's make it easier, simple to understand, but you need to understand the technical point to also understand again what is the big change coming with it. So it's complicated. I think what we need is time to explain, like you do when you do your meetups with the people to onboard. That's the main point, and get some educational content that are easy to read. And well, that's sad to say, but you need rewards. You need to reward people in order to give them motivation to learn about something. So, yeah, it's kind of problematic because it's still complicated, and some people don't want to go into the complicated stuff. Or for some people, it's just near impossible to understand what we are talking about because they are just not um, really into those type of stuff like technological stuff.
Yeah.
So we need to find a way to make it easy to understand and with the possibility to win something by learning.
So you're emphasizing this what's called like learn to earn, and concepts like this where people can actually be rewarded by, you know, like Coinbase has this thing where you complete a lesson on a coin or token, and then you get a few of them. But even stronger, maybe having some some programs that kind of do that by, I don't know, inviting people to learn about a project or a coin or something, and then rewarding them in some form. That's where you kind of see a way into to get people in.
Well, that's one of the way because rewards attract motivation, of course. Like you do a job because you get paid. You do giveaways because you have the chance to get something. You play Cantina Royale because you have tokens that are worth financial value. So my opinion is if we can get a very good learn to earn platform, this could be like a good way to start. But I'm wishing to find other way that don't use any type of money to make people learn.
Yeah.
But you see how school is hard already for some people to follow, then get to know about blockchain is even harder. So what I tried to do is, and I did it in the thread actually, I think, it's try to give example of things they do now that they could do even better with the help of blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't reach a lot of audience, but I think little by little it's gonna reach the right audience, and maybe it's gonna help. I think also we should try to ask the big actors, the big brands that where we can see a good use of NFTs or token or stuff like that to make them do it, use it and show the world that it's doable.
That's actually a good segue or a good question. Two things. One, where do you see the role of NFTs when it comes to adoption? And then two, what projects like do you like at the moment on Multiverse X or anywhere else really that are doing some stuff differently? Please don't shout us out one more time. I appreciate it, but this is not a like who do you see that's doing things like kind of differently, and yeah, where do you see the role of NFTs when it comes to adoption?
NFTs are absolutely not used in the good way nowadays because they pretend it's art and stuff. Well, the concept. I think NFTs will be worse when it will replace all the physical stuff we have. Like I like to give the example of, for example, a cinema. How do you call it in English? Fidelity card kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like every movie you go to see, you get on your NFT that you have on your wallet, you get 0.01% reduction every time you see a movie. So if you go to see 100 movie, you got 10% reduction a lifetime on your NFT, and then you can sell it when you can't go anymore at this cinema. Same for the subscription from train, for example. This was shit move. If you if you take the train like often, you take a subscription. Well, now this subscription could be NFT, and you don't have to have your card from your subscription. It's all in your wallet, so nobody can steal it or a copy of it because you are the only owner of your wallets. And I mean, Web3, it's all about ownership of stuff. And so every time you take a travel, it's register with your NFT. You get some points while doing the travel, and those points you can use them. It could be tokens that you can use to redeem on a ticket that goes outside your subscription. And if you don't want anymore your subscription, you can just put it on the secondary market, and someone buys it with the points on it, with the advantages that the guy adds, and stuff like that. It's all the time you need a card to do something that could be replaced into an NFT. Like a gift card, for example. It could be an NFT, a $50
Mm-hmm.
gift card that you go in the store, you take your stuff, and then when you go to the cashier, you just burn the NFT and you use your $50 credits. So I think I like to say that Web3 will be an evolution of the Web2, but it can't replace what is the Web2 already.
Yeah.
It's we need the Web2 to go to the Web3. We can't just create Web3. That's it.
Yeah, so you see a lot of value in these kind of loyalty programs into also basically, now I will go back to on-chain smokers for a second, into this kind of like, GG by the way.
Good job. Nobody saw.
This kind of like connecting businesses with customers in different ways, like creating value for both sides. Like you mentioned the movie theater where people can go and kind of get a little bit more of a discount every time they go, so rewarding their loyalty. Of course, the business itself benefits because they are creating more loyal customers and people that are giving them business and are incentivized to give them business. And then also interesting ways of managing ownership of different things. So I think those are really good points. I totally forgot to open the floor to questions. So if one of you guys hanging out here
But
has a question.
in addition, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Louis.
Yeah, no, I was just like, in addition, you have to think about all the tickets you buy. Like, for example, cinema ticket again. You go on the website now, if you want to buy a ticket, you need to create an account with your name, with your mail address, with your numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just send you spam every time. They have it now. You can just go on the website of the cinema, connect your wallet, so you don't need to put your name, you don't need your address, and you buy a ticket with some cryptocurrency. It comes with NFT that has a limited supply due to the limited size of the room, of course. And when you arrive at the cinema, you just burn the SFTs and you go to your movie. And it's all those things that you will be able to do just by connecting your wallet. Like, I don't know if you saw, but I bought cheese using Utrust.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It was just crazy. Like, you just put in your bag, then you log your wallets, and it's done. You don't need to put you need to put your address, of course, because you need to receive the cheese actually. But you don't need to create an account. You don't need to insert your mail address. Well, you can add it if you want to follow the shipment, but you don't have to. And that is the evolution, I think, as people want more privacy and wants to keep their mails for privacy and stuff like that, to show that they don't need to create accounts everywhere. They don't need to have a Facebook account. They just can connect their wallets, and the blockchain knows it's them.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah, I'll throw it to anybody who's here. Thank you so much for joining for now, Louis. Does anybody in present here have a question for our good friend Louis? If so, just unmute your mic and ask your question. I'll dance in the meantime. Or we just dance. Everybody dance.
I'm fine with that.
I love this platform. All right, cool. Well, we've been going for a little bit over an hour. It's, I think, also cool to cut it here. I hope that the recording has kind of like captured most of it. Only got kicked out once, and I hope at least the people here could hear most of it. Yeah, thank you so much for joining and for your insights and for all the work that you do on the chain for Morningstar, for Elrond and Multiverse X. Yeah, keep up the great work and thank you so much.
Yeah, well, thank you for the invitation. It was really a pleasure. When I first saw your chess and chat, I absolutely wanted to do it. So it was great. Really appreciate the talk. And whoever is listening to this, if you need help, don't ever hesitate to contact me in DM or stuff like that. Like I'm very open. You don't have to be afraid. I'm like you. Like I've failed many times, and it's part of the game.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. I
Born the chess.
will talk to you all later. Thank you, Sergio, and see you all later.
Thank you, guys.